Usually, before I go shaking my tits for the press, I like to go see how the professionals do it. Some might say the chief of police has no business in an institution like this, but in fact it's the quietest and safest place in town. You won't run into any reporters, nobody gets into any fights, nobody drinks too much, nobody even raises their voice. The place is owned by an elderly gentleman who knows how to keep things under control. That's why I never invite my friends here. I wanted to make an exception for my 60th birthday, but most of my colleagues are young enough to be my sons, and they'd rather just hire prostitutes. Why stare at some boobs when you can take the whole package for yourself? But there's none of that in our club. Even looking too long is considered indecent. You can get an occasional glimpse, like by accident. The rest of the time you just pretend that you're immersed in conversation, or just come by for a drink. Doesn't mean these gentlemen wouldn't want their bald heads smothered in tits. It's just that nobody says it out loud. My younger colleagues might call it hypocrisy, but I call it the good old-fashioned manners. Good manners and leave the rest unsaid. She agrees to unbutton her blouse, and we agree not to pay too much attention. The girls are on a quiet prowl, too. They're looking for a way out of their cramped rooms. Maybe make friends with some wealthy patron with a pacemaker and dentures. Everybody wants something. But we have to control ourselves, or we'll all turn into libertines and prostitutes. Hell, if there weren't any rules, I'd be belching and farting, jumping up on the table, arms held high, yelling, "Shake it, baby!" No idea how I got so barbaric.
Welcome to our brand new series. I had to let that seep in. Actually, before I do anything else, audio. I want you guys to be able to hear the music, but I also want you to be able to hear me. So, welcome to This Is the Police, the new game starting on the channel. As chosen by the YouTube viewers and Twitter voters. First of all, once again, as I said in the introduction video I posted on Saturday, thank you to everyone who voted. It should be a lot of fun to play this game. I've watched other people play it. I've had it for a while. I just never sat down and actually played it, so this should be a big hoot. So, what do you need to know about This Is the Police? First of all, it is very much a mature type of game. So if you have small children and you watch my videos with small children, maybe find another video to show them. Like Out of the Park Baseball, where I generally keep profanity to at least... I can't even say minimum with a straight face. But This Is the Police is definitely, as you just caught by the what's the word I'm looking for? Not generous. Lugubrious? Excessive? Ludicrous? Use of the word tits. This is most definitely a very mature type of game. At its core, it is you're managing a police force, but the story is really good. And that's why I decided to let you guys watch the cutscene before we actually started playing. So we're going to go ahead and click on the story button. New game. So at the beginning of every day, this is the information we get. You always start with the newspapers, which give you a hint of what might be happening. So we know that Mayor Rogers might be a sex maniac. City Hall confirms rumors of Jack Boyd's resignation. Jack Boyd is our character. And Mark War 2 to be shown in Freeburg the day before the worldwide premiere by the mayor's personal request. Let's go to work. Vroom, vroom. Vroom.
When I was a kid, My father sometimes told me at bedtime that if I closed my eyes and didn't open them for a long time, all the demons would blow away. Yesterday I turned 60, but I still take his advice. Not because I'm sentimental or want to keep the memory of my father alive. I just can't think of a better solution.
I really like the art
To get away
style.
from all the demons that haunt Freeburg, I'd need to wear a blindfold 24/7. Plus, it's a good idea to act blind when talking to reporters. At least that's what my colleagues say. They're afraid of press conferences. But for me, it's more like a confessional. No matter what lies you tell, you're privately thinking the honest answers. It helps me remember who I am. The fact that I'll be reading all about it in the papers tomorrow is a small price to pay. Call it penance for the preacher. This is the first time I'm afraid of those answers my mind has given me. Not because I'm mad I'm losing my job. Though it's true, I'm mad as hell. Not because I subconsciously blame everyone else. Though I damn sure do blame them. And don't even ask me what my next move is. I can't imagine. But even that doesn't scare me. The worst thing is, I know I'm gonna have to do something. And I'll be damned if I know how far I'll go. I may have a lot of vices, but predictability isn't one of them. I learned a long time ago how to drive away the swarming demons. But what do you do when they're trying to rip your soul from your skin? Shutting my eyes tight as I can. The best solution remains the same: play blind. I just hope the reporters think I was blinded by the camera flash.
The voice actor is really tremendous, too. Oh, I have a choice of what to say. I can say good morning or nothing. So we'll say good morning. So, yesterday, the mayor's office officially announced her resignation. Did this come as a surprise or did you know about it in advance? Oh. So how do we want to play this? How do we see Jack Boyd? I mean, obviously he's not a perfect man. He's not happy about it. That's what he said, right? We're going to drop this line. I've been expecting this bullshit from the mayor. Mayor Rogers is a dishonorable, corrupt politician. He's been waiting for an opportunity to get rid of me. Do you already know the name of your successor? Who cares? It's not me. I've done my job, and I'm just about finished with it. Soon, my only interest will be cigars and jazz. I frankly don't care who takes my place. I know my voice sounds nothing like his. I'm sorry if it breaks the immersion. After the recent corruption scandal, your deputy Francis Kendrick said he was looking forward to resigning. If the mayor offered him your position, would that change his mind? Who cares? That's his business, not mine. Ask him yourself. Although Kendrick was acquitted, many still believe that the police are cooperating with the mafia. Do you have anything to say about this? Bullshit. Excuse me, but that's a pile of horse shit. The Mafia and the police working together. Maybe they're in cahoots with the aliens. The Mafia are a bunch of low-life criminals. How about someone ask a real question? Do you think your personal relationship with the mayor could be the reason behind your retirement? How should I know? You better ask him. Thank you.
How's the back today, Mr. Boyd?
Same as usual.
How did the press conference go?
You can read about it in the newspapers tomorrow. Don't let anyone in.
Even Mr. Kendrick?
Especially Mr. Kendrick.
But especially Bart. look like hot tamales candies.
As soon as I heard the door creak, I knew what face I'd see. When I tell Emma not to let anyone in, there's only one man it could be. Rude, arrogant, no warning. That's Mayor Rogers in a nutshell. White summer shoes, white socks, white shorts, white polo shirt, and the white smile of a hungry shark. Mayor Rogers enters every room like he owns the place. Even the floorboards under his feet sound like they're creaking an apology. He never shied away from the odd corruption scheme. It's like the devil walks behind him. In the movies, the villains controlling the city play golf with the judges. Rogers plays tennis with them instead. That's about the only difference.
Jack, I was hoping to catch you after the press conference. You ran away so quick.
There's no smoking at City Hall. No reason for me to hang around.
Well, this morning I signed a ban on smoking in all public buildings. Soon you won't be able to smoke here either.
Soon enough, I won't be here at all.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about. The people of this city like you, Jack. The police chief of all people. Don't betray that, Jack. Don't get wrapped up in any schemes. Sit nice and quiet for the next 180 days, and you'll be remembered as a hero. That's the only thing that you still have left. Be the hero.
Then how am I supposed to scrape together a retirement fund?
You had a million chances to secure a luxury pension, one that even I would have envied, although I've never set aside any money for myself. I'm not planning to retire anytime soon. "180 days of quiet, Jack. That's all I need. I don't have any problems with you, and you won't have any problems with me. I have a new assistant, Troy Starr. If you have something to tell me, call him. But try not to bother him. He's a busy man."
I'll do my best.
"And quit smoking up the office. One of my friends will be using it soon."
But I thought we were friends.
I'm sorry, babe. Only the mayor has this number. Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, is this Troy Starr?
Yes?
Go fuck yourself, Troy Starr.
Oh, brilliant. So, next police chief would avoid subordinates, cleanliness increased by 20%. Jack Boyd believes he with the mayor led to his resignation. So, what we're gonna do with these videos, one day isn't enough. If I did that each video, it would be like 20 to 30 minutes long. So we'll probably do 2 to 3 days. Our goal is to get through 180 days without dying, and there's other things you have to do too. It can be surprisingly challenging. Let's go to work.
Cops don't use the police station cafeteria anymore. There's some kind of stigma against sitting shoulder to shoulder with your partners. Everybody just takes snacks from the machines or grabs a meal and hammers it down in the corner like a vulture on a corpse. The main thing? Don't look into anyone's eyes. Could be construed as an invitation to sit together. The only people eating here are ghosts. My deputy, Francis Kendrick. He recently became one of those ghosts. The subject of one of the most devastating corruption scandals in the history of Freeburg. No evidence to support the accusations, but everyone knows Kendrick's days are numbered. I need that file I asked for. Needs to be ready tonight. Francis didn't say anything, but I understood. Ghosts aren't supposed to talk. Besides, I got a feeling he was already finished.
Okay, so, some days will just be plot. You won't actually have much to play. That's the way day one is. So I'm going to explain how the game actually works to you. Freeburg PD organizes upcoming work assignments into shifts for today and tomorrow. Every shift, officers respond to crimes in progress and detectives continue their investigations. You can freely move employees between shifts. All officers and detectives possess several important characteristics. Professionalism is the overall efficiency level of the policeman. A figure around 150 is considered average. Any policeman who falls short of this mark is not entirely reliable, while those whose professionalism is considerably higher than average are a safe bet, even in a pinch. An individual's level of professionalism may rise and fall over the course of their career. Energy shows how tired they are, that's the bar here on the right. The less energy your people had, the less reliable their work, and a policeman who is exhausted might fall asleep at the wheel or make a critical error on the job. Your employees lose 1 point of energy after each working day, restore 1 point after each day of rest. Your employees don't tell you everything. Some additional characteristics are hidden from view. For instance, some cops are lazy and will come up with any reason they can think of to try to take the day off, while others like to drink too much. You can only guess about these things, but you should be able to draw your own conclusions based on the behavior of your employees. Okay. So this is our shift. We can't actually change it, but we can click on... Actually, we can't even click on them to learn anything more. We've got Kochi, Yancey, Purdy, Tsubaki, Asano, Austin, Price, you suck, Price. And then we have 3 detectives, Mole, DiBrito, and Armstrong. So what's happening is as the day progresses, we'll be asked to do certain things. On this. Oh, you're finding calls of the bread and butter police work. You need to send your officers to the crime scene before a timer expires. A mark on the map shows where the call came from. The farther away the destination is from the police station, the longer it will take your officers to travel back and forth. And so the longer your people will be tied up and unavailable for upcoming work.
110B in progress.
Okay. So we have 15 seconds. It's a hit and run. We need 2 officers. Let's send a good officer, Kochi. Oh, here we go. The easiest way to determine how difficult a task might be to check how many units you're allowed to send. The more units you can send, the more serious the alleged threat. Particularly risky missions will give you the option to send a swap, but they must always be accompanied by at least 1 officer. The number of slots is not the only thing to consider. Any available information from the location of the crime scene to the presence of weapons and so on, all this can tell you how seriously each case should be taken. A mission might look simple at first glance until it turns into a brutal meat grinder. Or a serious call can come in which turns out to be a false alarm. Hit and run, everyday mall. A married couple exited a convenience store and saw a van in the parking lot back over a homeless man who'd been digging through a trash can. The driver jumped out to help, but once he saw that he hit a bum, he got back in the van and quickly drove away. So this isn't the kind of thing that's likely to result in anyone being hurt. So we're going to send a good officer, and then maybe one who's not as good, like Austin. Proceed. And you can see the little police car driving off.
311A in progress.
A fight. The last picture show. A theater manager reports that during a showing of Citizen Kane, a drunk man attempted to force his way into the theater carrying a snowboard decorated with the word Rosebud. When he was at entry, he violently attacked the cashier and is currently fighting with the theater security guard. This is somewhat more serious. There's violence. We want to make sure this is put away as quietly as possible. We're going to send our 2 best cops. Off you go. This is how much money we have in the budget, I think. Oh, looks like they just pushed them all.
110B complete.
Let's read the report. When everything goes well, the police capture the criminals and nobody dies. But the truth is, sometimes the criminals manage to escape. Just try to avoid any dead cops or civilians. Dead cops alert your roster, and dead citizens bother the mayor even more than living ones. Offender caught, officers online, and you see they each level up a little bit. Which is why you always want to send some inexperienced police officers every now and again.
311 complete.
How did the fight get handled? Offender caught, officers unharmed, civilians unharmed. A nice bonus for both of them. No. Okay, we've got an armed robbery. 3 teenagers armed with a shotgun robbed a videotape store made off with their whole collection of adult movies. The criminals fled in a car, but the store manager wrote down the car's license plate. The owner is one Janet Brunel in the suburbs. Now these people will be available. Here's what we're going to do. We're actually going to wait. There we go. Now we have Kochi back. Oh shit. Alright, let's look at the fight. A brother and sister clash with each other over their deceased father's will. According to one of their lawyers, we don't dare separate them, and our security guard is off duty tonight. We're going to send Austin and Asano. Because this doesn't sound like as nearly as dangerous a one as this one does. I mean, they've got a shotgun, so we have to take that kind of seriously. And Yancey and Purdy got back, so we've got good cops on the sidelines in case something else happens. A passerby saw some teenagers attack an elderly musician, then run away with his guitar and his money. We're almost at the end of the day. That's why the numbers there are red. So we're going to go ahead and set Yancey and Purdy. We're not going to send Price. She kind of sucks. We're going to try to get rid of her as soon as we can. There's going to be like a triple homicide, and Price is going to have to go handle it by herself. That's going to go badly. I think 1800 or 6 o'clock is when things... Here we go. When your cops aren't sure how to proceed, they might contact you actually how to handle the situation, try to deal with whatever comes up, but don't waste all your time on this stuff. Plenty of other problems on your... Okay. The vehicle in question is parked right outside the Brown residence. The sounds of moaning and loud laughter can be heard through the living room window. So these are the kids that robbed the porn store, so they're probably watching porno. But they've got a shotgun. Okay, this is probably the bad decision. They're 3 stupid kids. They could have stolen money and they didn't. I think the best solution... We don't want to sneak in because we don't want to surprise them. They'll probably shoot us in the face with a shotgun. Let's use the siren and the loudspeaker. Offender caught. Officers unharmed. Brilliant. Kochi's getting pretty sweet. Let's look at the fight. Ah, the offender got away. Aw, oh well. You can't win them all, right?
412A.
And here's the assault. Offender caught, officers unharmed. Nice. This was far more serious. And there's a little red mark with them coming back. We're just about finished with our first day. There are reasons to keep going, but normally when it comes up as end the day, I just hit end the day. So if you think you'll need a couple of extra hands tomorrow, you can order any cop to come in and work overtime, but if they're working flat out, they'll be much more exhausted. Someone's bound to make a mistake. So let's look at Shift A. So on the one hand, we've got the best cop on our force, Stovall. On the other hand, only Van Dahl and Robbins are above average. So Shift B is like the better shift all in all. Shift A also has our best detective, Beasley. The ones in brown are the detectives. So what we could do is we could click on an officer and ask them to come to work tomorrow. I'm not going to do that, though. We're just going to give him some time. And plus, we're just learning the game. So I think what we'll do for this episode is I think we'll play one more day. With Shift A, of course, and then see what happens. God damn it, Roy.
Used to be when I asked Kendrick to stay late at the office, He liked to grumble and crack wise. Nowadays, he doesn't have the strength for it. Slumped shoulders, blank stare, wrinkled skin. The past few weeks, I don't hardly recognize my old friend. In his younger years, he reminded me of a gallant royal officer in an old Kipling story. Kendrick isn't just crumbling under the weight of the public pressure, but from the shame of it all. Internal Affairs raided the library he inherited from his grandfather, hoping they'd find buckets of cash stashed in the pages.
Why would you put buckets in a
Heard
book?
about the look on his face. The fearless policeman standing helpless in horror. I've known Francis for 30 years. The past 20 years he's played loose with the law. And I know that at a certain point every stolen dollar brings more misery than anything else. Probably sounds crazy, but I sympathize with the guy. What can I do? Your friends are your friends, and these are the waters we swim in.
Called all of the people on that list today. Now they know you're in business, so you could get a call from any of them. You don't need to worry about any of them. I've cleared them all.
And what kind of business are we talking here?
It's nothing too serious, just like you asked. Should be just a few small favors. Payments will vary depending on the situation and who you're dealing with. How much are you looking to earn?
$500,000.
$500,000? Why not a whole million?
Because everybody wants to take $1 million. Figured I'd try something different.
$500,000 in 180 days? Well, you could earn it all above board if you netted all the big fish and hit all your bonuses.
Never knew you for a fisherman.
Well, you never got into my business, and I'm not trying to get into yours. But be careful about bringing in any other cops. Sooner or later, they'll put the finger on you. And one more thing, Jack. I remember what you said, but I should probably add one more name to that list. Christopher Sand.
Sand. Christopher G. Sand. Everyone knows the name, but few could tell you who he is. The old man stays away from the spotlight. Always wears old-fashioned jeans and knitted sweaters. Gives to charity. Rarely attends social events. An avid hunter, I hear. Even dabbles in poetry. You'd never guess he's the head of the oldest and most powerful gang in the city. Goes back as far as his great-grandfather. And Sand is strict about following the old rules. He rarely involves himself in commonplace murders and robberies. Hardly needs to intimidate anyone to get his point across. The people who work for him each have their sphere. They provide protection where needed, even work with the authorities when they want to make a deal. Meanwhile, Sand pulls the strings without getting his hands dirty. People sometimes mistake his quiet approach. A couple years ago, an arms dealer decided to expand its business without asking permission, and his whole family paid the price. In 4 weeks, Sand killed 31 people. Old men, women, even a few teenagers. And Sand's people
In case you
made
can't
sure
tell,
every
those
paper
two people are
reported
hanging.
it.
On the right-hand side.
Frank, I don't want to hear you say that name again.
Jack, please, listen to me. I'm in with these guys.
We agreed, Frank. That's not the kind of business I'm into. I don't go there. Never have, never will.
Francis Kendrick announces retirement date. Legendary singer Gennaro Crespo comes to Freebird. Construction of Cinema Museum postponed again. Let's go to work. When a police officer is too tired to be effective, he'll ask for a day off. Sometimes officers request days off even when they're at full strength. Some of them are far-fetched. Some are very serious. Don't overindulge your subordinates, but don't antagonize them either. Everyone's got secrets, and you've got to make sure these guys have your back. In addition to the performance rankings, police officers also possess rank. Employees begin at the lowest rank and be elevated to 1, 2, or 3 stripes. Once a week, I can improve someone's rank. They increase in professionalism. They learn to command. Whenever there's a ranking officer, everyone else performs better. They get better. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. So we can hand out 2 stripes. So 150, remember, is average. Let's give 1 to Vandal. He gains 50 points. So we have a couple of options with what to do with the second stripe. And we can simply hold on to it and give it away later. We could give it to Samadhi, which would actually push him over average and give us 4 seasoned police officers. The other option would be to give it to Stovall or Robbins or Vandal even and make them super awesome. Or you could give 1 to a detective. I think we're going to give it to Samadhi. I'd like to have at least 4 above average employees. So there we go. Robbins might get pissed off at us later on, but we're just going to have to deal with that. Freeburg isn't one of those cities where you listen to what they say. You can always select a collection and play it at any time, just like in real life or the life of your grandfather. Someone was saying on YouTube that one of these got them content ID'd. Let's play the piano one. Yeah, I think the problem is that all of these are technically copyrighted. We're gonna go with Chopin. So we'll see what happens. Let's learn how to hire and fire cops. Yes, let's. Guess we click on Affairs. Police station. Okay, so this is how we hire new cops. Can hire any available job slots, officers, and detectives. I really don't want to hire her, though. Here we go. I want to hire someone good. Paul Cook is pretty solid. I think I could use him for shift A. I mean, Roy, you're pretty terrible. So, if there's a legal reason to fire someone, you can just do it. You might need to fire them, and that can cause additional problems here. He's pretty old, and he sucks, so we're gonna go ahead and fire him. Let's maybe get 1 more detective. Not a detective, another officer. Do you want Gabriel Johnson or Hanero Perez? Let's get Hanero. Let's put him on shift B. And we can hire 1 more detective. One thing I wish I could see quickly is... oh, here we go. I actually can see. We need a really good detective on shift B, but we also just need another detective on shift A. So I think we'll go ahead and hire... Dennis Wolf sounds like a villain in Die Hard. Let's get Javier Faust instead. That was shit. Which chef was that? That was shift A. Yeah, okay. Welcome. And now all of our slots are filled. You basically never want to not have all of your slots filled. And we can't do anything else here. I mean, I guess we could fire Price. Yeah, let's do that too. Let's clean house. She's pretty old too. And let's get Gabriel Johnson after all, and he can be on shift B. Now, these won't be available right away. You'll notice...
211 in progress.
Alright, so we've got vandalism at a cathedral. We received a frightened call from the local cathedral. This morning, the abbot discovered that someone entered the old cemetery during this night. The old yard's tombstones are painted with satanic symbols, and some have even been broken into pieces. It seems there are even marks from a shovel, but the abbot would say no more. This is something we don't need a great cop to go on. I'm going to go ahead and send Grant. If she succeeds, it'll give her experience and make her more useful to us. If she fails, it's not a big deal. So you'll notice that Personnel decisions don't take place until the next time the shift
211
has
in
its
progress.
shift. Vandalism at Atticus Tower. Businessman Harley Jones, looking out his window, saw two teenagers scratching offensive slogans on his new car. Let's send Robbins and Birch. Again, this isn't really seriously violent. We don't need to send our very best, but you at least want to send one good cop with it. Roy's gonna get fired anyway, as you can tell by the axe. Oh, the offender got away. Poor Grant.
1210 in progress.
Suspicious individual. A waitress named Mila reports that she just served a chicken Eddie and a Diet Coke to a dangerous criminal who she'd seen on television just this morning. The culprit is sitting at the window eating a burger. Oh, wait a minute. A chicken sandwich and a burger are not the same thing. I'm going to take a risk because there are false alarms in the game. This sounds like a false alarm to me. I mean, this waitress can't even get her story straight. She said she gave him a chicken sandwich, but it's saying he ate a burger. Now, the people who made this game, I don't know if they're necessarily American, so I don't know if they'd get the distinction. I'm going to ignore it.
211 complete.
How'd the vandalism case go? Oh, the offender got away. Damn it. Hasn't been a great day yet. Yeah, I'm not going to waste time or manpower on this. You'll notice it turns red. Okay. So these are ways to make extra money. And you don't always have to give your best cops. I think this is a good chance for Robbins. Let's send him. So you'll make money for your retirement account, which is good. You want to be able to do that. And let's see. I bet this was a false alarm.
1210 complete.
There we go. The waitress had mistaken retired Officer Frank Nair for the fugitive in question. I thought her story sounded fishy. It's been a quiet day. We haven't even sent our best cops on anything yet. Yeah, I think it's 2000, which would be 8 o'clock.
1111 in progress.
Drug sales. An anonymous call just came in. A clown carrying balloons at the skating rink is selling crack to teenagers. I'm going to send Stovall and Grant. I know Stovall's our best cop, but hopefully he will mentor Grant and make her suck less. That's the kind of thing I can't take a chance on. Sam Sorkin.
411 in progress.
Oh, damn! Sorry, Chief, but I quit. And one night I pulled in more cash than I earned in a month working at this stuff. Mr. Sorkin said he wouldn't mind taking me on. I guess I just wasn't cut out to be a cop. But I got 4,500 bucks. Okay, suicide threat. A naked man carrying a canister of gasoline is threatened to set himself on fire unless his favorite chewing gum becomes popular again. Let's go ahead and send both of them. We don't want to screw around with that. Alright, we're going to click on affairs because we've got an open spot now. Because the one guy decided to quit. That's what, this shift? Which is shift A? I guess we'll hire James. Welcome to shift A, James. I hope nothing else happens. Okay, good. Whew! I did not fancy.
We have a situation here.
As police arrive, the clown is seen making balloon animals for the kids. That doesn't sound very suspicious, so let's just watch it.
1111.
Got him. Officer's unharmed. Grant basically makes up for her screw-up earlier.
411 complete.
What about the suicide threat? I don't know that a suicide threat's really an offender, but the good news is they both got better. And I think it's time to end the day. I'm not going to ask anyone to come and work overtime. If anything, it's actually this shift that's underpopulated. So we're going to end the day. Checkpoint. Day 4. Robus PA to reveal his identity when the time is right. Feminist organization denied official registration. Enemies using feminists to destroy Freebird. Oh dear. But that'll all be for the next day on the job. I hope you've enjoyed this episode so far. Because it's a new series, it's important that I get feedback. Please share if you want to see more of the adventures of Jack Boyd. But until next time, this has been Avindian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.